Technical skill is what everybody focuses on when learning to play an instrument. But in order to flourish as a musician, you have to get beyond the point of just being technical. You should aim for the pocket. Overly technical instrument playing can be a joy to listen to, but more often than not, it just feels boring after a while if there is nothing more to it. It is as if a carpenter was taught to be obsessed with how to swing the hammer. All the planks on a roof might be skewed and of little use when it rains, but man, that beautiful swing of the hammer. Making art is all about emotions, and true artists are those who can manipulate the viewer or the listener, throw them into a dreamy state, making them furious and political, nostalgic, happy and sad, preferably all at the same time. In this aspect, music is all about the listener going on a little abstract journey inside. The best prog rockers knew how to do this for the audience. In his instrumental passages, Tony Banks of Genesis could make the listener end up in a place far away with a little help from Collins, Rutherford and Hackett. And then there is the power of groove. A well-executed collaboration of drums and bass guitar can become the ultimate factor in an outcome of a song, the difference between whether the song makes it or not. The modern term for this is being in the pocket. In my view, being in the pocket is not a matter of not letting the tempo fluctuate. If the tempo gradually increases, it can still be in the pocket as long as the musicians are playing their notes in good relation to one another. In fact, playing to a click track can kill a song if it has to fluctuate a little. Let me explain. There is a story of the Rolling Stones. They hired a modern and hip producer for their album Steel Wheels, and that producer wanted them to play to a click track. He even suggested replacing Charlie with a session drummer. Charlie protested and told the man he could play to a click track. And then he played through the first song and, to the producer's amazement, was dead on all the way. But when listening back in the control room, Charlie had this to say: "If this is what you want, there you have it. But I feel like the tempo should come up a bit in the chorus and fall back to the original tempo when we are back in the next verse." You see, Charlie is an excellent pocket drummer and a big factor in the success of the Rolling Stones. Drummers who are occupied with technique and fast licks may find him bad or uninteresting, but he is not, absolutely not. The producer Don Was explains this phenomenon brilliantly in the book According to the Rolling Stones. While producing the record Voodoo Lounge, he himself laid down a few tracks on the bass guitar with the band, when Darryl Jones wasn't there. As a bass player, I have a theory about playing with Charlie that I call the fruit bowl theory, he writes, and then he describes it in the following way. You draw a vertical line representing bang on the beat, just like drum machines do best. Every human drummer has a different disparity as a result of having a nervous system. Charlie Watts, Don says, plays the hi-hat strokes a tiny bit ahead of the beat. The kick drum comes down a fraction behind the beat, and so does the snare drum, right behind the kick. When you draw a basket around these notes, you get what is usually called the pocket. This is Charlie's fruit bowl, and this is the leeway the bass player has to throw his apple into, the apples being his notes. And Don Was continues, on the other hand, playing with a drum machine would be like trying to lob the apple into a champagne glass, which, for those of you who have never tried it, becomes a total bore after about 30 seconds. The pocket is made out of human emotions. It is just like that analog valve sound distortion we all love. The right kind of a subtle fuzz that distinguishes between feeling something to be alive rather than dead and cold. So there you have it. Take a look at Rick Beato's video about Steely Dan's Kid Charlemagne. At 2:15 we only hear the bass and the drums together, Chuck Rainey and Bernard Purdie. Oh, the pocket. You just have to love it. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna be. You're gonna give your love to me. I wanna love you night and day. You know my love not fade away. You know my love not fade away.